Hi everyone, welcome back to the Moonlit Circle. If you're new here, I'm Gwendie Belle Moone, author, storyteller, and celestial traveler. Let's do some healing together. Before we get started, I do have to let you know that I have been patiently waiting out my cats to take a nap, and they have not. Two of them are here in the office with me, wreaking havoc as we speak. So I may have to cut and take care of them real quick, just FYI. So let's talk about today. I wanted to talk about the quiet work of becoming, and we've touched on this theme throughout the week that growth doesn't always have to be a really loud experience. It can be very internal. It can be very quiet and hushed. And lately, I've been thinking about those kinds of changes that really just don't have to announce themselves. The quiet sort that happens when you're doing caregiving or internal reflection or just sitting still long enough to hear your own thoughts again. Nothing really looks different from the outside, but somehow you can feel those tectonic plates moving inside and your inner world start to shift. And that's, it's really invisible work, but that's where sacred work happens, and tends to be a hushed experience. So I've actually been writing about that invisible internal work in The Final Silence. That's the title of the first book in the Look at the Moon series. And it's actually a story of those moments where everything seems unchanged on the surface, but there's this sense of coming to a boiling point just under the surface. The transformations are already taking place just under the surface. They just haven't boiled out into the outer manifested world yet. And in chapter one, there's actually a little small motif that I wanted to bring everyone's attention to. It's and you may notice it in some of the images that go along with our journal posts for the Moonlit Circle. But there's a coin, and on the surface, it's just a little object. It's shiny, it's ordinary, it's forgettable, and you see it first as is this tiny symbol of hope, of what ifs, and let me think about positivity, and let me think about things turning out the way that I would like them to be. But by the end of book one, by the end of The Final Silence, it really becomes something else entirely. It's a symbol of choice, of self-worth, and of what we decide to keep or let go in our healing process, in our journey. That's what this whole story is really about, those internal quiet revolutions that happen inside our hearts and in our minds when nobody's watching. So lately I've also been learning to show up more authentically. That would be the cats. Even though I'm not, performing or perfectly polished. And as a matter of fact, that's the goal. I don't want to be heavily curated for you guys. I want to show up as I am. And, that's risky, because what if people don't like what I am? But I've decided that is what. That is my goal, and that is how I want to portray myself. And I want to be as authentically present for you guys as possible. Growth doesn't always look like analytics. And so sometimes just showing up softer and slower and truer is where it's at. And so I've actually started embracing what I call soulful progress, where I am more intentional and steadier, and really trying to align with who I am. Life has been pretty chaotic the last few years, and I'm trying to really make sure that I'm realigning in the best possible way for me. As for all of you, though, you're not just the viewers here. You're not just the Moonlit Circle. You're part of this. You're part of how I'm going to develop this channel. You're part of how I'm going to develop this entire social network. You're my little moonbeams, and I really appreciate you being here for the very start of this journey. You're the ones who light the circle with your own reflections and wisdom, and I appreciate all of you. So when I talk about the Moonlit Circle, it's not just a brand. It's not just who Gwendie is. It's not just who I am. It's us. So let's grow this community together and in a way that benefits all of us. It's this little glowing constellation that we're building together, and I'm so very proud of everything that we've accomplished so far. Speaking of what we've accomplished so far, not all of the ideas are going to work, and I have had some recent feedback, and I basically had to beg for this feedback. I do appreciate it. Thank you. But I'm like, I need to know where to improve, and it's so early on, it's hard to get anyone to really, take that leap of faith. Because nobody wants to hurt anyone's feelings, and I'm just desperate for some honesty. And so I did get that, and I appreciate that from the person who told me that my sky maps on Sundays were a bit sciencey. And he was right. So appreciate the feedback. So I'll be pulling back on just a bit on the angle and the focus, and we will start to realign the focus more on what we can actually see. I'm on the West Coast, so this is this is it for me. So based upon that, I will express to you where to look in the sky, when, and what it means energetically and symbolically. So going forward, rather than just doing a whole sweep of the sky, I think we'll start using sky maps as portals for celestial reflections, focusing on one sky feature or event, and how you might use that momentum or energy coming from that celestial body or that event in your own healing or intention setting. Everything has energy. So you just have to find out what those energies are, what those symbolisms are, and apply that. We'll explore the characteristics and symbolism of subjects like Venus, the Hunter's Moon, Three-Eye Atlas, everyone's favorite right now, Orion, and other planets, comets, constellations, star clusters, eclipses, that sort of thing. And it actually ties back into today's gentle lesson. I wanted to take you guys through the trust of slow unfolding, quiet paced, slow internal reflection. You don't need proof that you're changing. You don't have to have those external validations. You just need patience and a will to move forward. The progress that really matters most is often the kind you can't post with a snappy little meme. It's more hushed and nuanced and complex than that. So maybe this week, take a few minutes to journal, ponder on this question: where am I growing quietly right now? Okay, so much of becoming isn't loud or public. It's the quiet, private work of learning to love again, as an example. Not just other people, but yourself, your story, your edges, your softness. So I'd like to introduce you to a new section of our Social Sundays, All Things Love. When we talk about love, we often imagine it as these, big grand gestures, perfect timing, fireworks, sparks. But real love, the kind that actually transforms you from the inside out, that's the quiet work of self-love. It's the cup of coffee that you make yourself in the morning. That's Crowley. It's forgiving the version of you who didn't know better way back then. It's showing up for your own art, showing up for your own healing, showing up for your own people. Even when you're tired, you want people to show up for you. You have to put in the effort to show up for them. Love is now and has always been, pay attention, 15% front-loaded magic and 85% maintenance. And that especially is true of self-love. People apply that to relationships, to marriages, to divorce rates. But that is more true for self-love than anything else. You can have a great day and just be absolutely in love with yourself. But how often does that happen? How often do you find yourself really cutting yourself down, really saying that you've had a bad day, really, damaging yourself at the end of the day for all of the things that you didn't have time for all of the things that you forgot to say? You have to work at continuously putting yourself first and being positive with yourself and being your best friend. It takes a lot more work than even a relationship or a marriage, especially if deep down you're a people pleaser like me. Spoiler alert, I'm a people pleaser. But we will tackle that another day. People pleasing is a whole topic unto itself. So, some people naturally gravitate to all things love, the romantic or the lover, if you will. Sadly, they can be misunderstood. It's not about seduction. It's more about connection. It's the part of us that wants to feel alive and to belong and to feel that spark and to see beauty in the ordinary. For me, love has always looked like tending. I'm a tender. I tend to people. I've always been tending to others or tending to stories, or in recent years I'm trying to look more inward and tending to my own becoming. And the lover's work is noticing everything, noticing everything around you, and they're very attuned to the needs of others just naturally. And so, let's noticing these are the creatives really, noticing how the moonlight falls across the table, noticing how your body exhales when you tell yourself the truth and your shoulders relax, noticing when your own heart says, stay, try again. That's the quiet work of becoming, is learning to stay with that internal softening and really lean into it. Personally, when I was younger, I thought that love meant earning peace, being good enough, useful enough, thin enough, pretty enough, soft and vulnerable enough. But now I know that love is what remains when the performance is over. That's that 15%. That's where the performance is at maximum. That's when you're getting those standing ovations. It's after that. It's the work after that that really counts. I used to think that my life needed to look romantic 24/7. In order to be romantic, you have to feel romantic, right? And that's not the case. Some of it's just good old-fashioned roll up your sleeves work in, developing a relationship with others and developing a relationship with yourself. I really adore this comedian who recently joked about her multiple divorces, saying that, those who can't do teach. And I thought that was hilarious. She was trying to justify imparting some marital wisdom on the crowd, even though she was a multiple divorcee. And I really connected with that joke because here I am in my own sordid history of being, okay, you ready for this? Engaged 5 times, formally married 3 times, technically married 4 times, and 2 baby daddies. And, I don't pretend to know it all. I've definitely had my share of mistakes, and I'm still very much learning as I go. Even in, 10 years into this successful marriage, and eventually meeting the man of my dreams, and having a beautiful life together. I'm still learning as I go, but I've seen a few things and I've learned a few lessons along the way that I'm happy to share. So here's my question for you, my sweet little moonbeams. Where does love live in your life today? Not the sparks, not the cinematic kind, but the quiet breathing kind, the deep love, the sustained love, the love that you have put work into, the love that you've given that 85% of maintenance to. Write it down, whisper it, light a candle for it, put a little ceremony behind it. The quiet work of becoming is always, always love. Because even still water, you guessed it, reflects the moon. All answers come best in the stillness of meditation or prayer. I hope everyone knows that. And if you have not explored those avenues, we will definitely be doing some of that. Before we go, I'd love for you to share your own quiet victories in the comments, the little wins that no one else might see, but that mean the world to you and that have given you a sense of pride and love in yourself. And remember, even still water reflects the moon. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Come and join us. Be a part of this little corner of the internet. We're so excited for this journey. Thanks for joining me and my sweet Moonlit Circle. And remember, keep dreaming, keep wandering, and keep glowing. I'll see you all next time.